Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad to be with you. I'm a little early tonight, which is kind of unlike me, but here I am. And I want to talk with you guys and just a little bit about a new resource I have that I've developed. But I want to talk to you about the thing that ties all youth workers together. And, there's lots of things that we have, right? Camps, so forth, but there's a lot of groups that don't do that. But every youth group has the meeting, the once a week or the once every 2 weeks. But there's a meeting somewhere. And that meeting is so important, right? Because that's where we're going to see we're going to gather with most of our kids. We're going to see most of the people that we see come to Christ is there. Most of the connections we make, the new people that are going to show up, are going to show up on our Wednesday night or Sunday. It is where the big worship event may happen. And I just sense that there's so many youth workers that are just trying to survive their meetings, right? And listen, I've been there. I've done it. I have been, where I'm just like, look, Lord, I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't feel like what's going to go on tonight, and I just need some help. And I pray nobody kills each other, and please don't let them put a hole in the wall like they did last week. And listen, some of that's unavoidable, right? Some of that is you can't plan for some of that. But what you can plan for is you can plan on having a great meeting. Now, listen, when I was full-time youth pastor, and in my younger days especially, it got to a point where, I was like super strong at the beginning, like I was like ready. And then at some point I just started like writing stuff down on a thing. It's like, oh, just a little sheet of paper. And I just, I was like, okay, we're going to do that. And look, let me tell you something. Praise God that that the Lord had mercy on me and said, oh, is that your plan for tonight? Okay. Well, Paul, I'm going to have mercy on your soul, and I'm going to do some amazing things tonight, in spite of the fact that you don't seem to be quite ready. You don't seem to have a plan. And listen, I'm all about God showing up and doing his thing. That's the point of me planning. It's the point of all of us planning and saying, we want God to show up tonight. And but thankfully, God in his mercy said, look, Paul, that's a pretty terrible meeting thing that you got going there, but I'm gonna show up anyway because you're gonna be preaching my word. Now, does that mean that we shouldn't plan? Does that mean we should slack and just say, well, God's gonna do it anyway? I would say that's also a terrible, not having a plan at all, and then purposely not having a plan and say, well, God, you just go ahead and do it. I'm going to say that's an equally bad plan because in our frailty and humanity, we kind of need a plan. We'd like to know what's going on, at least for the most part. Now, earlier this year in January, I put out this little thing here. Some of you might remember this. It is the My Youth Ministry Playbook, because we don't need another planner. We need a playbook. We need something that tells us the plays to run. A planner, blank, just says, here's a bunch of empty spots. You come up with the ideas. You come up with those things, and you put them there. That's a planner. This, on the other hand, gave you some structure. I have the calendars in there. By the way, there's only 6 months left of 2019, so this is still available. You can still buy this and get your whole fall going with this thing, with your fall planning. I'll put a link down in the description below. But the new resource I want to help you with is because this meeting is so important. This meeting that we have once a week, once every month, whatever that big gathering is kind of important. It's kind of a big deal. It's when the church gets together. It's when we worship together. It's when relationships are built. It's where memories are made. And listen, it's no small thing to say, look, maybe I should have a plan for these nights. Now listen, one meeting you can get away with and say, well, that's a great meeting. But let me ask you a question. What if you had an entire book of 52 planning sheets? One meeting is great. 52 meetings is a movement, because you are organizing yourself in such a way. This is, look, I'm going to prepare this youth ministry to take off. I'm going to, listen, you're going to plan and God's going to do what he's going to. But it's nice to, look, let's give God something to work with here. Let's not just slough it off. Let's not just, walk in and hope and cross our fingers and cross ourselves and throw holy water everywhere and just like, okay, God, just go ahead and do this thing. Listen, you're the youth pastor. You're there for a reason. And yet there are some youth pastors, maybe you're watching, the meeting makes you a nervous wreck because you're hoping nobody gets hurt. You hope that you have a good idea. You hope you have a plan. You hope, you hope, you hope. And I'm saying you're there because God put you there for a reason. And so I want you, if you're going to be there and God put you there, why not have a plan every week to say, look, God's going to show up somehow, some way. Some people are going to come to Christ. Some people are going to be discipled. Some people are going to be in relationship. Great moments are going to happen. Whatever happens in your youth meetings, whatever your expectation is. And in this book, it gives you, let me show you here. You have meetings like this. It's a full-blown meeting sheet. And there's about, let's see, about a dozen places on this meeting planner. It comes like the front part there, and then you have on the other side, you have more planning things. It's nice and big. You can see everything for people like that wear glasses like me. And so what we have here is we have 52 of these. Not only do you have the meeting sheets, by the way, I have about over a dozen articles, maybe closer to 15 articles in there, where I break down every piece of that planning sheet and how you can maximize each part of your meeting in some way, somehow. It comes, I mean, look, I give you the core text. What are you going to talk about tonight? Opening ideas, worship, closing, announcements, media, students involved. That's critical. The wow factor, what is that? That's in there. I give you, talk about adult leaders, movement, meeting and evaluation. All these kinds of things are in this book to help you plan a meeting that God can move in and amongst and through so that you can create a movement, not just survive the meeting. I don't want you to just survive the meeting. There's too much surviving the meeting. Can I tell you this? This generation, we talk a lot about this generation. I say it like that. It's a real thing. It's not like a fake word or term for this generation. It's a real generation. But the real reason that many kids and teens are checking out of youth programs, maybe even your youth program, is that they're not, I don't believe they're checking out on God. I believe they're checking out on sloppy, uninspired, unplanned meetings. Because these students want to join something. They want to be a part of something. They don't want to be a part of a meeting. They want to be part of a movement. And of all the movements that are going on in the world today, political movements, educational movements, all those things, why are we like fourth on the list of things that teenagers and young adults want to join when it comes to a real movement? It's because I believe that they're checking out on sloppy, disorganized, purposeless meetings. And I'm saying we can flip that if we'll put the time and the energy and the plan and write down the things that we really want to do. And then collectively, 52 meetings, you're planning this thing to say, look, we're going somewhere. We're not just meeting every week because we have nothing better to do. We're meeting every week because we're getting ready for some stuff. We're getting ready for God to do his thing. We're getting ready for Christ to return. We're getting ready for heaven. We're getting ready to serve others. We're getting ready to share Christ with us. We're on a movement. And the only way students can grasp that is by how you are organizing this one meeting a week. And if you say, if it's dry, if it's boring, if it's all that, then why would a student want to be a part of it? You know, we just have to sometimes take a deep look into the mirror and say, you know what? I can get better. I can be a better planner. I can be somebody who says, look, I'm committed. By the way, good time. Fall is right around the corner. You could get started like right now and say, you know what? I'm not going to get caught. I'm not going to get caught being unplanned. I'm not going to get caught with not doing some things that are going to engage this generation to be a part of a movement. Listen to yourself. Do you like meetings? I don't like meetings per se. I like meetings that we're going to go somewhere or we're going to do something. Think about your own job. If you're a youth worker, then you're familiar. It's like, well, maybe you don't like staff meeting or committee meeting or because you don't feel like they're going anywhere. Well, we duplicate that same kind of mentality in students. It's just busy work. And I'm saying we can do better than busy work. We can do better than that. And so I hope that you will take the time. I know some of you are just surviving the meeting. You don't have to survive the meeting anymore. You can actually plan the meeting to get desired results because God wants to work with you, partner with you through the plan, through the things that you're writing down. He moves through your pen, through your heart and mind, and says, look, let's do this tonight. Let's have this idea. Let's go here. Let's work on this opener. Let's work on the closer. Let's work on this piece of the meeting because it all kind of matters at the end of the day. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. God's not looking for a perfect meeting. He is looking for an excellent meeting by which he can move through. Permission to move into your thing. If you have no framework whatsoever set up, awful hard to determine where God is doing what. And listen, you can plan a whole thing. God says, well, I don't want you to do that. I want you to do this. That's fine. Once again, it's not about the perfect meeting is where God shows up. And if we're prepared for God to show up, guess what? Perfect meeting. Simple, right? So I don't want you guys surviving the youth meeting anymore. I want you thriving. I want you to be able to, when these students come in to your group, to say, you know what, there's the youth pastor. There's the paid guy right there. He's not apathetic. He's on a roll here. He's taking us somewhere. I wonder where we're going. This meeting was exciting, and we're going to have another one next week, and I'm excited for that. You know what? I've heard it say this way: the best advertisement for your youth ministry is your next youth meeting. And if you're not putting time, effort, plans, all that kind of good stuff into it, that may be one of the reasons why you're not seeing the growth in your youth ministry that you could see. So I want to encourage you right here. Go grab it. There's a link down in the description below. It is up there. You can get, this is the physical copy. The PDF and all that will come later, but the physical copy is ready to go. I'm looking at some alternative covers that are going to be shipped out. You might get surprised. I'm also looking at if you are interested in putting your logo on there. How cool would that be? Right in there somewhere. You say, I'd like my logo on my book. That would be fun. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I want to know. I want to hear from you guys. And so, but that is it for tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. But I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. I know you guys want to have great meetings. But let me tell you something. Great meetings don't have to be perfect. 52 great meetings make a movement. Get planned up. Get some vision. Get some heart. Get some passion in there. And plan like God is showing up every week. So, and he will. And he will. All right, that's it for today, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you later.